Hey, how's it going? Hey, happy Saturday. Welcome to the stream. Wow, hype train already. Thank you so much. Man, welcome to the stream. I do apologize for being late. Oh, a lot going on that I'll get into here in a little bit. But my bots were down. They're partially back up, but not fully up. So things mostly kind of maybe should work. For the most part, hey, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, there's so many bits and follows and subs. I'll get into them here in a second. Thank you so much. Man, you guys are awesome. But yeah, lots of, I don't know, troubles, which I'll get into here in a second. And I don't want to say troubles. A lot of it is self-inflicted. Wow, thank you so much. Thank you. But yeah, hey, happy Saturday. Welcome to the stream. If you're new here, it's jeez, thank you guys so much. Thank you. I'll definitely call them out here in a second. Thank you so much. But welcome to the stream. If you're new here, it's pretty laid back. I'm pretty laid back anyways. This is probably the most excited I usually get. But in general, it's pretty laid back. We talk about tech. We talk about things we're working on, things we're excited about, projects we're working on, home projects, home lab, you name it, IT, anything in tech. Mostly it's up for debate or discussion. It's pretty loose. So if you have a question about anything that you're working on or struggling with, yeah, throw it in chat. We'll get to it. I start from the top and go to the bottom. I try to get to all of it. Some other ground rules. I usually do roughly about an hour here, give or take a little bit. I start a little bit late, so I'll end a little bit late. But yeah, so if you have questions about or comments about anything you're working on, you're excited about, throw it in chat and let's talk about it. So anyways, I apologize for being late. I've been going through how much pain do I want to inflict on myself? That's how I feel lately. I've been as you know from I think about a week and a half ago, I released a video on FLUX and I thought, yeah, I'll go 100% GitOps. Ooh, it is tough. And that's what I've been doing is kind of automating and source controlling a lot of my my cluster, my Kubernetes cluster. Albeit I had CI and CD before, so I was able to automatically deploy to my Kubernetes cluster, and my manifests, all of them were committed to Git. But the driver for that was not FLUX. It was not even a GitOps tool in general. It was a DevOps tool with CI and CD with GitLab. And so GitLab would automatically deploy my manifests and all of my resources to Kubernetes when they were ready. And so I've been hearing about FLUX. I thought, hey, I'll give it a shot, because half of my repo is code that I write, which I already had automation for, and the other half is code I didn't write but manifests that I have, but they're not containers that I build myself. So I'm in this mixed mode of containers I use from other people and containers I build myself, and so I've lately been putting it all in FLUX, and I thought right before I started, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is a huge milestone. I have almost everything in here. Come to find out, my S3, long story short, my S3 secret for GitLab, or for Minio, that GitLab uses to cache all of my modules wasn't working and it was failing silently. I didn't know it. I'm deploying code left and right, and I come back and like nothing's working. All of my containers are looping over and over and over because they don't have any dependencies or any modules, so they can't start. So they're just crashing all over and over, and it was a totally rookie mistake. I'm kind of a little bit perplexed that silent failures like that during build time in GitLab are silent failures. Like, hey, if you can't pull dependencies from your cache and you're not going to put anything in containers, just fail the build. Then I wouldn't be in this situation. Anyways, I've run into this before, and it's so hard to track down because when you look at the container, you're like, this node module is missing, and you're like, yeah, no, it's not. It's there, and I can run it. Maybe something's wrong. Dependencies are wrong. Anyways, long story short, moral of the story is test before you deploy stuff, or don't deploy before you go live on Twitch. How about that? Anyways, that's what I've been working on. It's been crazy. It's been fun. It's been exciting. It's been frustrating. It's been what the heck? Why am I writing so much YAML? It's been a whole lot of stuff. And on top of that, I've been working on a couple of other things. I'm not going to talk about. Next video, I think I already told some people in Discord what it's going to be. I've been working on that, and then obviously working, or maybe not so obviously, working on something hopefully I can get done. It's kind of special for if I hit my 100K subs mark, which I might in the next couple of weeks. We'll see. Unless everyone unsubscribes and no one ever looks at my channel again. Anyways, that's a lot about me. Enough about me. Let's talk about you and what you're working on. One more thing. Let's talk about the weather. I usually start with the weather. Weather has been kind of crazy and kind of awesome at the same time. Like last week we had some storms. Now it's like it was summer for about 3 days, and now it's back to spring. So it's been up and down here in Minnesota, and I think a lot of the Midwest. You know, we've been getting warm days and we've been getting cooler days. Today, cool, cloudy, 54. Like I couldn't ask for a better day. This is my kind of day where I can put on a hoodie, wear pants. you know, I normally wear pants, but there are days I wear pants and there are days that I'm happy. So, but today's one of the days where I can wear pants because it's nice and cool out, without getting hot. So anyways, that aside, there were lots of follows, lots of bits. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let's get into it. Let's see all of the events that happen. I'm going to go back just a little bit because these happened right before the stream. So, Denti, thanks for follow. Appreciate it. Birch, thanks for follow. Appreciate it. Tora Kamata, thanks for the resub. Prime, 7 months. How's it going? Xavius D has resub. Tier 1, 6 months. Exclamation point. Milkshake. How's it going, man? Good to see you. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Milkshake doesn't work. Not yet. What would you like Milkshake to do? I can totally add that as a bot command, you know, if my bots were really working. They're working now, but I'm actually running all of my bots in a terminal on this machine, not even running in my Kubernetes cluster. I delayed the stream long enough, and I was like, why am I even delaying the stream? I can just run the bots on my local machine. So I don't know. Don't do any code to try to take over my machine. But then let's see, Mafni, resub, tier 1, 19 months. Let's go, man. Thank you. I'm gonna get to the follows. Thank you, and Crack Kitty, thanks, man. Thank you. But Mafni, hello, Tim. How are you? I'm doing good. I'm a little frazzled right now, but you know, looking at probably 10,000 lines of YAML over the last week will probably do that to you. But good. Thanks for resubbing, Mafni. Xavier D, thanks for the cheer. 100 bits. Thank you so much. Tim the Gamer, 06, followed. Thank you so much. Allsring is resub. Prime, 4 months, 2 month streak. Thank you. Slowly building the streak. All right. Hey, that's good enough for me. How's it going, man? Thank you. Xavius cheered 100. Xavius cheered 100 again. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. Man, your rack, it's coming along. I saw you had like some carbon fiber spacers in there. It's looking pretty awesome. Geeky Ran, cheer 300 bits. What's up, man? How's it going, Geeky Ran? He's also feeling my pain, doing a lot of YAML, and I think doing some Flux too. Oh man, this is like the misery team. I joke. It is kind of painful. It's nothing against the product, but it's the practice itself is stringent and rigid, as it should be, because it's GitOps, so it's gonna be rigid, and I guess I'm feeling that. I've been living a little bit too loose, I guess. But anyways, so thanks for the bits, man. Appreciate it. Mount Summer Breeze has resub Prime, 3 months, 2 month streak. Thank you so much. The Killer for 2, thank you. Prime sub, thank you so much for spending your Prime on me. Trevelon, Prime sub, thank you so much. Salvarius, resub, tier 1, 12 months, 1 year. Let's go, man. Salvarius, how's it go, man? Woot, let's go, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Delax, thanks for the follow. Benti Pay, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. And Crack Kitty has resub, Prime, 8 months, 6 month streak. Just swinging by to say hello. So, hi. How's it going, Crack Kitty? How's everything going? Okay, so let's get into it. Let's see what you guys are working on. Let's get into chat. Let me see if I can get all this working right. First of all, let's see who was here first. I know who was here first, but my chat was a little bit messed up. Ooh, I'm gonna have to scroll up. Let me share this really quick first. Let me go up a little bit. I don't want to say, but I think it was Lickety, but I'm not sure. Oh, it was Mafney. Mafney, I should have known. Mafney, thank you so much for being here first. I'm going to scroll back down. So the chat I use doesn't show history until I open it, whereas my normal chat shows history. So, anyways, let's get into it. Let's see, testing, a lot of testing stuff. Lickety split it. How's it going, man? Never enough banana. I think there were some comments at the beginning. Sorry if I didn't see the first couple, because I was had some technical difficulties. But lickety split it. How's it going, man? Good to see you. Mount Summer Breeze, hello everyone, how are you? Let's see. Hey, Geeky Ran, cheered, 101 bits, thanks dude, how's it going, man? Thank you so much, appreciate it. Also a little bit different camera angle, I got some newish stuff up here, maybe we'll see here in a little bit, but yeah, different camera angle. I realize that I can't I have that side of the room messy anymore. A little bit messy things going on down there, but I'm kind of trying to back this stuff up and open it up so you guys can see more. Xavier, thanks for the 101 bits. Thank you so much. I like the 101. Let's see, Alfie Tross, is there any special procedure for submitting questions on your stream? No, absolutely not. Throw it in there. I'll get to it for sure. We try to stay on tech topic, but you know, well, it's we'll decide as they come up if they're appropriate. Cyber Knight resub tier 3. Jeez, 4 months. Thank you so much, Cyber Knight. Thank you so much. Thanks. Wow. Xavier, let's get this out of the way. Yeah, there all the bits, huh? None at all. That's me. M the Bomb. How's it going? Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Hey, Mega Shiny Sniv. How's it going, Mega Shiny? Cheered 102 bits. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it. And Trackster. Thanks for the follow. Mega Shiny. Thank you so much. Thanks for the bits. Appreciate it. It's like nonstop. Oh, there are so many sound effects going on in my ears right now. I love it though. I love it. Okay, let's see. Lickety splitted. What are you working on? All the notifies. I hear you. All the notifies. I assume you mean a lot of notifications. Probably Prometheus with some logging and some alerting with Alert Manager. I think. Because I think last weekend we were talking about doing some log and log metrics, so I'm willing to bet that's what you're working on. Tough stuff. That's a lot of, speaking of like YAML and a lot of like manifests and a bunch of domain specific languages, DSLs. That stuff is too, and that stuff's tough to get right too. So let's see. Seawarg, heyo, how's it going? Good to see you. Xavier's D, speaking of, making custom carbon fiber wrapped 1U and 2U rack filter panels. Yeah, I saw that. I mentioned that earlier and I saw it in Discord. Looks pretty awesome. As if you're, my wife's calling. She's probably saying good luck on the stream. We'll see. If she calls back again, I might have to answer it. Or she's probably like, she's probably watching. She's probably like, is he going to answer his phone? No, she wouldn't do that. Anyways, but Xavier, yeah, I saw that. Saw it in Discord. Looks awesome. I'm super jelly. Because it looks pretty awesome. I need to up my game now. On Mount Summer Breeze, trying to fix my Proxmox storage. Might need some help. All right, let's do this. I've done a little bit. Well, hopefully you figure it out. Seawarg, trying Kate's or Kubernetes on WSL2. Interesting. So this came up in Discord the other week. So I've never run Kubernetes on WSL2. If you're not familiar with WSL2, most people in here probably are, but you know, it's basically running Ubuntu on top of Windows in a terminal, and it's great. Doesn't always have to be a terminal. It can be a UI now with, I think, WSL2 and some updates with Windows 11, maybe 10. But pretty awesome. And so, hey, Blinder Ovar, thanks for follow, appreciate it. And Real Wombo, thanks for the sub, prime sub, thank you so much, appreciate it, thank you. Going back to this, but Kate's, so if you want to run Kubernetes in a terminal in WSL2, it's kind of tough, but MiniKube is one that I think works. I think that came up in Discord last week. Someone was trying to spin up a local Kubernetes cluster just to do some testing, and MiniKube is a good answer to that, and it will, yeah, you can spin up a cluster local. When I worked at this one company as part of the Kubernetes onboarding before you got your own cluster, that's what you had to do. You had to actually spin up MiniKube on your own laptop and do this little exercise. And it was pretty interesting. But you know, I was very new to Kubernetes at the time, and I'm like, I'm just following these steps. I just need my code to run in containers. How does that happen? And look at us now running Kubernetes, and ooh. Let's see. Okay, so that's me testing my lights. My lights are working. Actually, I think it should be in dark mode, so my lights aren't fully working, and I understand why that is. It's because the code's running on here. Apologies. Oh, let's see. I am on to. Hey, how's it going? Good to see you. GCX Life, how's it going? Hype, how's it going? Sup, Tim from Trevor, how you doing? Captain Tidbit, hey, how's it going? The Killer for Two, Techno Tim, I destroyed my rancher a few hours ago. I hear you. And since then, I can't even start, so hating myself on the task today. Hey, I hear you. Inferno, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. The Killer for Two, been there, done that. I've done that so many times. The good news is with Kubernetes stuff, if you have persistent volumes, or even with the Docker stuff, if you have if you're writing to somewhere to storage, most likely you can recover most of the time. Even if you delete it and tear it all down, most of it, if you don't delete your PVCs, you can usually recover from it. I don't know if you're using the Docker version or you're using the man, I keep rolling in. Thank you so much. Jay Gaines, thank you. Thanks for the Prime sub. Appreciate it. But there's hope. If not, hopefully you didn't have too much in your cluster. And if you did, hopefully you have manifests and stuff like that so you can redeploy. But I've been there so many times. It's super frustrating. You might be able to recover. Look at the logs. Look at the container logs. Usually there's lots of hints in there. And I know if you need help on running commands to look at container logs, let me know. Excuse me, Alfie-Truss. Tim, finally got around to setting up my personal network and lab stuff over the last month. Awesome. Your videos on YouTube have been a massive help. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let me know what you're thinking about building, or what you're struggling with, or what you're going to do next. JCX, we got transcoding options. Tim, my laptop is grateful. Hey, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, totally random. So Twitch will give transcoding to people sometimes. If you're a partner, you're guaranteed. I'm not a partner, so I just get them whenever they decide I can have them. So today's the day. So awesome. So people on mobile are saving some data. Xavius and Manny talked me into firing up an LXC of Ubuntu to run Pi-hole. Look at you go, man. Look at you. Got 3 Proxmox node in a cluster, brand new server, and now you're going down LXC container path. Awesome. Let me know how it goes, man. Emsdaba. Hey, Theothur. Theothur. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Emsdabam. Need to postpone my tech projects. Oof. The process of moving, not fun. My home lab had to be dismantled and is in storage for now. Sad face. Didn't realize how much I would miss it. Haha. I'm waiting to find a simple coding project to kill some time while I wait for my moving to be done. Oh, I like how that goes. While I wait for my moving to be done. That means you have someone helping you move or doing it for you, which is awesome, because moving is not fun. That's on my top 10 list of things I don't like to do. I mean, it's fun moving into the place. It's not fun moving out of your existing place. Not fun at all. And usually when I move, like my server rack is the last thing standing at my old house and the first thing standing at my new house. Every apartment, every time I've moved, that's just how it goes. Let's see. Xavius? Yeah, sure. Yeah, that doesn't work yet, but I probably should wire that up. Captain Tidbit, working on setting up a Raspberry Pi to test some self-hosting apps for work. Awesome. There are a lot of, hey, dude, PC Geek, thanks for the 100 bits. Appreciate it, man. How's it going, PC Geek? Good to see you, dude. Good to see you. I know that you're also working on some Kubernetes stuff. I think you were getting Kubernetes Traffic Cert Manager to serve out self-signed certificates from your Active Directory domain, which sounds awesome and sounds super complicated. Sounds like it's like right up my alley, but at the same time, ooh, that's a lot of dots to connect, man. I hope you get it. Next series, G, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. But Captain Tidbit, there are a lot of low-code, no-code solutions out there. I totally agree. I'm a huge fan of low-code, no-code solutions because it removes the barrier from being able to write code or even to understand code. I'm a huge fan. I think they're going to become wildly popular, and I think they need to become more popular because there's so many people with great ideas who aren't programmers or aren't developers who can't write code. But they understand, the domain. They might be a domain expert on something, but the barrier to entry is writing code to do it, with just like machine learning and AI and all this stuff I think we talked about last week. Huge barrier to entry is the tooling and writing code, whereas you might want to try some of this technology without doing that. So I'm a huge fan of no-code solutions, for sure. I also like writing code though too, but most of mine are just, just fun stuff. Let's Sigor resub. How's it going, Sigor? Prime 17 months. Woo. Baby girl arrived last week. Congratulations, Sigor. I've been rewatching all your videos during the night when she can't sleep. Thanks for keeping me educated and entertained at all hours. All right. Well, my old videos will definitely help you fall asleep. Probably even my new ones too. Congratulations, man. Thanks for the Prime sub. Glad to see you in here. We're here when you get back to home lab life. But yeah, congrats on dad life. Let's see, JCX. I'm playing with old versions of Debian. I watched someone installing Debian 2.1 and how painful it was. Ooh, I bet. I remember the first one I finally managed to get working was 3.1. Those are, yeah, I no comment. I don't think I've ever installed versions that old, but I bet it's painful. I bet older versions of anything is painful. Not only because the tech that they run on sometimes is antiquated. Like I'm thinking older versions of Windows or DOS. How do you get a floppy? But at the same time, they were just painful. Lots of steps, lots of questions, and I don't know if you're compiling from source or just installing it, but yeah. Pretty painful, but a good learning experience for sure. Xavius, you keep using that cheer command. I think that's a hint. I need to wire it up. Allsring, hey Tim, any thoughts on Helm versus just manifest? Oof, this has been my life for a week. I finally tried out Helm and a deployment and didn't get it configured the way it should, so I don't think I'll be trying it again. Hey, I hear you. Here. I'm with you. So I deploy a lot of stuff in Kubernetes. All of my custom code is 100% Kubernetes manifests, like straight up Kubernetes resources, like services, deployments, ingresses, depending on who you're getting them from. Some killed a pattern. Thanks for the follow, appreciate it. All of my custom code, just normal, plain old Kubernetes manifests. I think that's what a lot of people do. Helm, if you're not familiar, package manager that can package up configuration, your deployment, your services, your CRDs, like everything you need to run this application. Where it gets tricky is there's a bajillion flags or values that you can pass into it, and it's a YAML nightmare. I mean, that's 99% of what I've been doing with my FLUX stuff is writing Helm deployments. And like I like Helm, don't get me wrong. Like I used Helm for a lot of stuff. It helps you get applications installed really quickly. But I've always done it through CLI with a combination of values file. Say, hey, run this command, and at the same time, if you need answers, that's really what a YAML values file is doing. If you need answers to these questions, or I want to replace your answers with my answers, use this file. And it's tough. So anyways, I hear you. It's tough. And I always struggle. Hey, Takano, resub, Prime, 21 months. 20 months. Let's go, Techno Tim. Off topic, but I'm done dealing with direct with Chinese companies. Yeah, it's yeah, fair. Not only because of how long you have to wait, but probably many other things that I'm not familiar with because I haven't done it directly. But hey, fair. That's fair. I know that shipping times is a long time. But thanks for the resub, man. 21 months. Let's go. Anyways, going back to Helm, I struggle with this a lot because Matched, hey, thanks for the follow, and Geeky Rant, 101 bits. Let's go. Thanks, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Anyways, I struggle when it comes to any domain specific language. So DSLs, when you have to learn this other language just to do the thing you want to do. And I'm not even talking about YAML, but when you learn Helm specific things, that's where it's kind of like, you're abstracted now from Kubernetes and you're doing this Helm stuff that isn't really Kubernetes, but it's a package manager for Kubernetes. And I feel like sometimes it's a lot of DSL, a lot of domain specific language. And a lot of times I'm just like, what if Helm goes away? What if Helm isn't the package manager that people use next week for Kubernetes or the week after, or the year after? Now I've learned all of this stuff and have to switch off. And anyways, these are the things that go through my head. And that's why, for a lot of the times, if I have Kubernetes manifests, I'll do it. I know those manifests are going to work. They work with the Kubernetes API. But Helm with packages give you a lot of flexibility and a lot less. Well, that's bright. A lot less putzing around and a lot less YAML in general if you use Helm. Different YAML. Anyways, sorry, that's fresh on the mind because I've been doing a ton of it. Trevor, I'm currently adding new servers into Observium to be monitored for stats, and then I monitor for alarms in Castle Rock, SNMPC Network Manager. Nice. I wish I had IBM Tivoli Netcool in my network. Nice. Man, I haven't heard the name Tivoli in a while. I'm going with Pieces. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. And Matched, I said that one, but thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Yeah, sounds awesome. I haven't done a lot of that stuff. I haven't I don't know much about Observium. And Tivoli, it's been a while. Tivoli was a IBM product, I think. Maybe it still is. And it was like, was it tape backups or backup manager for servers? It's been a while, and maybe my memory doesn't serve me well. But man, good luck with that. Yeah, good luck. Let me know if I can help. I'll try my best. JCX, so I figured I'd see if it was hard to remember or if I can muddle through it. Installer got much better in Debian 4 Etch 4 and onwards. And besides, is that bug fees? I'm going to go with bug fees. Is pretty much the same today if you install non-graphical or net install. Oh, going to the Debian stuff. Yeah, I couldn't imagine. It's probably pretty tough. I am on through power up. All right, let's go. JCX, it's raining bits. It was for sure. It looks like that gifted sub I got expired. Hey, I'm sure one will come around at some point. Lickety splitted. After hanging out in the Discord for weeks, I'm finally getting over the laziness and getting into Ansible again. All right. Wait, was hanging out in Discord making you lazy? No, you can hang out there anytime. I know what you mean though. I go through spurts of that too, where I'm, you have this huge task, and it seems daunting, and you don't want to do it, and you put it off. I've been there, and Ansible can be that way too. Mega shiny Snivy. I'm going with Snivy. I've never said it out loud. Snivy, Snivy. I'm going with Snivy. Snake. 200 bits. Just starting to get into Kubernetes. Do you have any recommendations for starting a high availability service? I know you can't throw any old Docker container at it and expect it to just work in HA. Yeah, good question, Mega Shiny. So awesome. Congratulations on getting started in Kubernetes. It's awesome and scary and complicated at the same time, and frustrating, but very rewarding when it works. Coming from me, who my bots aren't even working right now in Kubernetes. They're running on my Windows machine right here. Yeah, good question. So you're saying hey, where can I start with an HA service? One of the easiest HA services you can test out, I do this a lot, is something as simple as Nginx. Now, I know that this is like the definition of a hello world type HA service, but Nginx, for the most part, if you spin it up with a web server or serve out it works Nginx hello world page, you could spin up 10 replicas of that, 3 replicas, 1 replica, take one down, pass it around, and you know, your Nginx service will still be up. I mean, that's a very contrived example of one where it's like, hey, I just want to test HA. You can put a reverse proxy in front of it. You don't even have to. You could expose it directly through a load balancer, but put a reverse proxy in front of it, spin up 5 instances or replicas, they call them in Kubernetes, and then shut a node down, shut it not two, depending on how many you have, shut a node down or shut some of those containers down and see that Nginx is still serving out that web page. But then there are lots of others. I know you're kind of touching on, hey, you know, a lot of containers aren't made to be HA. That is true. That's 100% true. Why is that true? Because some containers have a lot of local state, as you mentioned it in your comment. A lot of containers keep state in their pod, which is not good because then you kind of have this split brain scenario. Take, for instance, I'm going to like Uptime Kuma or anything that has a local database inside of its pod, right? You can get into a split brain scenario where, you know, this pod has metrics or has uptime counts for your services, and so does this pod, and they can get out of sync because there is no sync. And so depending on which one the load balancer is sending it to, you're getting the state for each pod. It's basically split brain scenario. The best pods or the best containers to look for are ones that don't have any local state at all, totally stateless in the pod, I should say, stateless in the pod, and they move that state out and put it in a database. So pods you'll find that have a database like Postgres, MySQL, or even Redis, you know, where the state is held outside of there, those are always good candidates for ones that are most likely going to be HA because the person thought about it and said, hey, I'm not going to write to disk. I'm not going to write inside the container. I'm going to ship that state out and put it inside of a database. I'd have to look at my list. A lot of the ones that I build myself are you know, custom ones, and I try to keep that in mind. You know, database connections, no local state, not even in my code. I try not to, and then use messaging to communicate that state back and forth, or to something else that holds that state. Yeah, I mean, the ones I use, mine are really geeky. Mine are just like a lot of infrastructure type stuff, you know, traffic, mid-LLB. A lot of those can run because they're totally stateless. I mean, Nginx is a good one to start with. Ping me in Discord afterwards. I'm trying to think of ones that aren't like overly complicated. But most web servers are going to be pretty well, depending. I shouldn't even say most web servers. Web servers, if they're client-side apps, most likely are going to be kind of stateless. You get into weirdness with sessions if they have authentication, but for the most part, if you spin up the Nginx container, totally stateless. Good HA one to start trying. And then if you build, if you end up building a blog or whatever, doing some documentation and writing it in Markdown or Markup, and you can put it inside that container, that's a great candidate for one, because it doesn't have any dependencies outside of that container. Anyways, yeah, good question. I owe you some better examples. Jobstoy. I'm going with Jobstoy. Thanks for the 100 bits. Thank you so much. Sorry, just saw that. Jobstoy, thank you so much. JP Goley, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. And Day Wobber, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Yeah, I know why those ones this is technically dark mode. I know why those ones aren't working. It's because of my bots. Let's see. Geeky Ran, Lickety Splitted, you're welcome. For Ansible, yeah, that's right. JCX, ain't a problem you can't fix. You can do it in the mix or live stream in this case. I thought about doing that. I thought about going live and just fixing it, but I was like, that's when I had the light bulb moment of, oh yeah, I can just run these on my local machine. things like that, those lower lights will not work, I should just turn them off. Because if I turn them off, then everything else just kind of works. Let me do that real quick. Okay. All right, so now themes will work properly because my bottom lights aren't going to be triggered, but they you know, they're acting. Whoa, yeah. See, it won't be as bright because those lights kick off a ton of light. But now themes will work in here. Xavier D, your bots would not be down if you had taken the time to make guys bots earlier this week. Yeah, Karma. Yeah. I hear you. I know. Let's see. Indirect. Love you, Tim. Hey, thank you so much. Geeky Rand, totally. Mount Summer Breeze. Techno Tim. I got an issue with my storage. I have 512 gig SSD that I guess I assigned to some storage incorrectly, and then now it's only showing 100 gigs of usable space in Proxmox. Moon Column, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Usable space in Proxmox, any ideas? There's basically 412 gigs of unclaimed partition. Can this be used to extend the existing Proxmox storage? Yeah, it can. I assume, yeah, so yes. So long story short, yes, you can. In one of my Proxmox first 11 things, I can't remember the number. I'm gonna go with 11. But in there, I talk about how to extend a disk in Proxmox using LVM or getting rid of LVM altogether and extending your disk. You can do it that way. If you're not comfortable with using the CLI to do that, or it doesn't work properly, you could use gparted or something like that. Gparted's an open source boot disk where you can boot from it and extend your partitions and extend your volumes. That's a great one. If you're not familiar or uncomfortable with using the CLI, CLI can be dangerous, especially if you just copy and paste stuff. But if you don't care about the data, you could always just wipe the disk, format it, and then do it all over again. Sounds like you probably don't want to do that. But yeah, either extend the LVM or extend that disk, or use gparted to do it. I'm a huge fan of gparted. I've been using it probably 20 years. It's fantastic. I mean, I think I used it like 3 months ago too, because one of my disks I need to extend. I couldn't do it while I was running, and it's great. Lickety splitted, you right at yourself. Dale Kerr, hey, how's it going? Dale Kerr, good to see you. Hey, good to see you. I'm working on setting up teleport. Yeah, I saw that on Twitter. How's it going, man? Hey, thanks for being here. I saw that. I saw that. I definitely need some of that in my life at some point. For sure. How's it going, man? Good to see you. Elaine, I'm going with Elaine. Hi, everyone. I finally caught the stream. Well, welcome here. Welcome. Dale Kerr, and I'm trying to fix my issues with FLUX this weekend. Yeah, me too. Me too. Join the club. Good to see you, man. Sia Khan. Hi, Tim. I'm new here. Came here from the tubes. First time here to see you live. Hey, well, welcome. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming all the way over from YouTube. That's a huge chasm to cross, and I mean it. It's hard. Coltrane, you the man. How's it going, Coltrane? Good to see you. Indirects Telex, is Authelia still a great solution for two-factor authentication, or is there something else even better? So it's still great. It's still great. I mean, you have other solutions that are out there. I still use it. It's great. You know, it's an auth proxy that does two-factor auth at the same time. I know that their Kubernetes version has said beta and probably don't use this, but I have before. Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, there's a handful of open source ones that you can use now. I'm a fan of it just because of how easy it is. But yeah, it's still good. Still good. A lot of people use it. Lickety splitted. Thank you. Fire Warrior TV. What's your opinion of FLUX versus Argo CD? Yeah, hot on the heels of like me complaining about FLUX. Not complaining. Just, you know, I'm just exploring the space of FLUX. You know, to be perfectly honest, I haven't done a ton of Argo CD. Like, it looks awesome. I've spun it up locally, it looks interesting for sure. It's definitely a different paradigm. Very UI driven, which is a good thing for some people. And they have a lot of plugins and a lot of integrations with other systems that are out there. I think it's pretty cool. Like, this is a newer space, so things are going to come up, things are going to get better, things are going to get deprecated. Hey, Xavius, 599 bits. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. But you know, it's a very fast, rapidly moving space. It's very new. I mean, if you look at FLUX, they're already doing V2 and not doing V1 anymore, and change the API. You know, Argo CD is building and revving too, and so both good options. I hear lots of good things about Argo CD. I should have some content on it here in a little bit. I got to space it out. I can't do too much Kubernetes all at one time. I you know, just so I don't, you know, some people aren't Kubernetes fans, so I just got to spread out the love. But you know, I don't have a well-formed opinion yet. I will have one soon. But Argo CD, I mean, it's huge. It's another player in this space that is doing awesome things for sure. And you know, much more approachable. Whenever you have a UI, it's going to be much more approachable. And so I think this is too, especially with the way that it works, with dragging and dropping things and connecting things and rerunning things. Those are the kind of things that make your DevOps great, I think. You know, this is not a complaint, but you know, once you adopt the DevOps model, at least for FLUX, you know, you always move forward. And what do I mean by that? Like, you know, you commit something, you push it up, and you move forward. There's no going backwards. You would have to actually commit something to change that, to push it up, to, you know, initiate a change in your cluster. Common use case I have is, hey, like my bots, I deployed the wrong container, or I deployed a container that doesn't work. You know, in the DevOps model that I've always worked in, I would just go into GitLab, look at the previous tag, click it real quick, get that service up and going while I go and patch the fix and make it, you know, better. With FLUX, not so much. With FLUX, you actually have to go in and commit to the previous tag and push that up and let it go through the pipeline fairly quick. But you don't have any quick shortcuts like that. So a little bit different. But still awesome. I mean, it's very stringent, very rigid, you know, buying into GitOps, where DevOps is more, yeah, I wouldn't say loose, but you know, it just covers a wider swath. Optimus Gray, hey, thanks. Resub, tier 1, 15 months. Thank you so much. Made it for the live stream. Thank you so much. Thanks for the resub and the continued support. Trevelon, interested in how your primary Kubernetes clusters is deployed. Hey, Fire Warrior has subscribed. Thank you so much. Prime sub. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Trevelon, interested in how your primary Kubernetes cluster is deployed. Are the nodes VMs in Proxmox, or are you running some other abstraction? Yeah, no, you nailed it. First shot. Higor Dev, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Let me grab a drink. I'm just like yelling. I have said like probably 10 words today. Because my wife is out of town. I said 10 words, I think, to my dog, and now I'm just like yelling. So give me a sec. So no, you nailed it. You nailed it on the first, the former, not the latter. And this was asked in Discord today about setting up my personal Kubernetes cluster that I run at home. I'll break it down like this. I have two clusters, two Kubernetes clusters. I have 3 Proxmox nodes. And then I have roughly, you know, I run one of each type of node on each of those Proxmox nodes. That probably doesn't make a ton of sense. But what that means is on each one of my nodes, I have, you know, my control plane node as well as one of my worker nodes, at least one of each on each of those Proxmox nodes, and it is virtualized. So yeah, I'm as you can't tell, I'm a huge fan of virtualization. I think you know, for the small overhead, 2 to 3%, that you pay in virtualization. I think you get a lot of capabilities. And so I always, if I can, I will install a hypervisor, even if it means just to run one virtual machine, because then I have the option to run 2 virtual machines, or I have the option to back up that virtual machine or reset or take snapshots of that virtual machine. So that's exactly it. Now I virtualize everything. I have a few things that are bare metal. One is this Ubuntu server that does backups for me. Kind of breaking my own rule there, but it's just because it's it's super unofficial, I guess I should say, how I have it, but it's a local sync of a lot of my data here. And then, you know, all of my desktop machines are bare metal. Other than that, I virtualize everything I can, for sure. But yeah, so anyways, long story short, yes, my Kubernetes nodes are virtualized, and they're spread across all of my Proxmox nodes, for sure. JCX, finally getting around to sorting out my VGA cables. All right, for all my screens, they were only like 1 meter long, so 3 feet. So my gaming desktop was like sat on top of it. So I'm gonna go through putting on longer cables so I can have the PC away from the quad displays and give me more room on my sit sans desk. Nice. Not an easy job when you're in a wheelchair. Yeah, I can imagine. But I'll take a small win. That I got the old cables out. Now just need the new ones in. Nice. Not had much motivation recently, but you inspired me. Thank you so much. Yeah, I can imagine your cables right now when you say they're 1 meter long and you don't have much room. They're probably just wrapped around and coming right underneath the screen. Been there, and then they're just strung across your desk. Well, good luck. You can do it. You're halfway there. Mega shiny grass popcorn. All right, I like it. Trevor, Tim, would there be any way to make those silent failures loud? Maybe by using syslog or SNMP traps? Yeah, good question. I think so. I think it's manually stuff I can do. So so you're going back to when I was talking about silent failures in my CI process. When I pull my cache from S3 or push my cache from S3, basically GitLab says, we can't do it. So we're just going to use local cache instead. Everything's good. Everything is not good if it does that, because they don't make it to the next CI step, and then it's just empty. And then my next CI step is like, okay, let's copy this empty folder into a container and then push it up into a registry and then put it in Kubernetes. And it's like, now I have this empty container that's in a crash loop. I don't know with SNMP or ways of doing it or with syslog. I probably could. My idea was just do a test connection to my S3. I call it S3. It's Minio, but S3 compliant object storage. I should just do a test connection to my my Minio instance. If it succeeds, great. If it fails, throw an exit code, whatever, 0 or 1. So that then the whole CI job fails. That's my rough idea, really quick, of how to get it working. But it's painful when anything silently fails. That is not a good thing, especially in software development. You don't like silent failures, because it's like, well, how do I know what state I'm in right now? And that's kind of what I'm in right now. But yeah, good questions, great ideas. I have some ideas. It hasn't been painful enough yet for me to write the code, but today I think it might be. But that's on the long list of things to do. But I like it. JCX, both you and the Discord really don't make me feel that weird either. All right, awesome. Or like it's a good thing to be weird. Thank you. Yeah, no problem at all. I'm glad we don't make you feel weird. I know what you mean. I'm a weird person too. I never once imagined you were weird or that anyone is weird, because I've been weird my whole entire life, for sure. Yeah, totally working, right, Kiki Ran? Howdy, folks. How's it going? Stay blazing, fire. Geeky Rand, Nebraska is so flat. Yeah, it is. Coltrane, oh man, the loudest thunder I've ever heard. Yeah, a lot of storms ripping through the Midwest. Geeky Rand, thus the reason I tried to never go through there. Yeah, for sure. Nebraska is pretty flat, for sure. Xavier D, Techno Tim Pants, what? WTF, COVID equals commando. No. I joke. When I say, you know, there's times I wear pants and then there's times I'm happy, I mean like instead of shorts, not just like pantsless. I stole that one from my friend. He says it at work a lot too, or used to when I worked with him. Preach. JCX, if you said that over here, people would think that you were naked. I know some days I wear pants and some days I don't wear pants, and I'm happy. I know it's kind of gets a laugh every now and then. Hey Gunny, thanks for the resub Prime 3 months, 1 month straight. Thank you so much, Gunny. Gunny92, thank you so much. Thank you. But yeah, a buddy of mine used to say that all the time. I thought it was pretty funny, so I borrow them sometimes. Not pants. I borrowed his joke. Xavius, yes. How's it going? Bring all the boys to the yard. That's right. Yeah, that's what the milkshake command should do. That's right. Jorgen, subscribe. Thanks so much. Prime sub. Thanks for spending your Prime sub with me. I appreciate it. Yeah, the milkshake command should definitely bring all the boys to the yard. Good call on that one. Severius, wait, when did pants become a requirement? All right. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Alfitros, question. I have multiple Pi-hole instances on my network. After I set up Gravity Sync, does it make sense to load balance them with Keep Alive D or VIP? Or is it better to just keep the instance individually to my network config? It depends. If you, awesome, you have two instances. Most likely you have one as your primary DNS and your secondary DNS. And then awesome, you're synchronizing the two so your rules and everything stay in sync. Awesome. You can add Keep Live D or something, a VIP in front of that so that they appear as one on your network. So the benefit of doing that is because technically when you have a primary and a secondary DNS, it's really just kind of sort of doing round robin. They're not load balanced. It's not always going to use the primary. Sometimes they can get stuck on the secondary until it doesn't respond. And so they kind of just bounce back and forth. Totally random. I couldn't tell you exactly what the algorithm is they use, but it's not load balanced. So you know, if one was down, you know, you might get some requests to the one that's down and then it would eventually figure out and go to the first one. But sometimes it would still go to the second one. Where Keep Alive D or having a VIP in front of those will help you is that now you have, you know, a fault tolerant DNS. You'll only have one, you'll have a primary, but that VIP, everything behind it will be, you know, highly available, a fault tolerant. So you can lose one and you still have your service up and running. And then so you're guaranteed that DNS on the primary is always just going to respond. That's how I do it. I actually have three, only because I had to test some stuff out, but I have three. And that's how I do it. One is my primary is not behind a VIP. My other two are behind a VIP. So I actually have a primary that is not load balanced, and then a secondary that is load balanced behind two. And that was really just because it was a point in time. I ended up doing it, and I thought it was pretty cool, and I wanted to explore Keep Alive D, and I kept it that way. So you know, the pros, like I mentioned, you're gonna get better uptime on your primary DNS. You only have one. The cons, a little bit of complexity. So it's kind of up to you. But yeah, good question. If it's working and you want to spend your time on something else, go for it. If you want to learn about Keep Alive D, it can be applied in a lot of different ways. But if you want to learn about Keep Alive D in a VIP, I say go for it. Because once you do it once, then you'll start to learn like, hey, I could do this for my Nginx instances, or I could load balance these other two things. And so once you do it once and you figure out how to do it, you're like, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool tech, having this VIP in my house or on my network that is load balancing or failover for the two services behind it. Pretty awesome stuff. Pretty awesome stuff. Lickety splitted milkshake should bring all the boys to the yard. It should. I should have got that one. Support command. Oh, no, now I'm reading out what my bot's saying. Craig Kitty, hey, hi, how's it going? Good to see you. Mega Shiny, Ranks, hey, thanks for follow, appreciate it. Welcome. Mega Shiny, right now I've got GitLab set up, nice. Working on getting CI/CD with Ansible. In a word, Zoom. All right, let's go. Yeah, awesome. Yes, that's all I can say to that. I'm a huge fan of GitLab. I'm a huge fan of CI/CD. Huge fan of automation. Mixing Ansible in there too. I'm a huge fan. Not an expert, but a huge fan. And whenever you can do stuff automatically, especially in Git, and push it up there and let robots or machines do it for you, it's awesome. It is a win. So awesome. Ben Pipe, 10K of YAML lines. Oh my, that can make anyone insane. Yeah, that's like accumulated. So if I probably counted all my YAML lines across all of my repos and all of my Kubernetes stuff, I'm just guessing 10,000. It might be more. It might be more, honestly. I should get that. I don't know. I should get that plugin in VS Code. I remember Visual Studio used to have a plugin that can do line count per file type. I bet it's 10K of YAML that I manage or have committed to my repo. Because yeah, I probably have 15, 20 repos, and all of them have Kubernetes stuff with them. And then yeah, it's I guarantee. I bet it's 50. Who knows? It's all copy pasted though, anyways. You know, I copy pasted the thing from one deployment to another, changed the name, and boom. You know, I made 4 lines of changes, but I inherited 100 lines of YAML. That's how it is. Geeky Rand, Mega Shiny gave up on the GitLab CI/CD for now. All right, hey, he's going GitOps. He's going GitOps too with Flux, turning it upside down. Right now, I'm just sticking with Ansible, and I'm not even trying to do Flux yet. I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. Manny C Motif. Thanks for follow. Appreciate it. I hear you. It's it racks your brain. It racks your brain. Like I mentioned earlier, it's very rigid for a reason. And I'm glad it's rigid. I've been really loose with my stuff. Granted, I've had automation for my stuff. It's really rigid to the point where if you delete something from that repo and push it up, it will remove it from your cluster. I learned that the hard way too. I accidentally moved my Flux folder out of the folder it was in, and then didn't realize, hey, Flux has a config to say, look at this path for Flux. And it thought I removed Flux from my cluster. So it's like, okay, I'm going to remove Flux from this cluster. And then on top of that, I moved a config file of where my imports were. So it was no longer importing a lot of my storage. And it's like, I don't see you have storage in this Git repo anymore. Pull the lever on that, deleted all my storage. So, those are the things you might run into. Start with a staging or a QA cluster or a dev cluster before you do it for real in production, like I did. I test in production. I don't always test, but when I do, I test in production. Killer for 2, Techno Tim. Okay, you're answering, luckily, our problems. All right. Probably creating a lot more for you too. Let me tell you my story. I wanted to give Rancher another port as recommended, and it crashed on the way. So I decided I could just set it up new, but now I can't spin up the pod as it tells me there's no valid certificate. It is this machine, Ubuntu, ports 9091 or 443, no luck. Yeah, I'm slowly out of ideas. Maybe someone has an idea. Anyways, thanks for all your video and work. Normally, I'm a silent enjoyer. All right. Sounds like you're doing the Docker version. I would also look at Rancher's latest documentation on that. I think I've tried to keep it kind of up to date. But I would look at Ranchers. I would definitely use the stable version too. They have a latest branch and they have a stable branch. I 100% always use a stable branch. Sometimes it's nice to be on bleeding edge stuff, but when it's code that might not be as tested as others, it's not that fun and you can run into issues. If you're using the Docker version, I would try the stable and I would look at their commands and give it a try that way. And maybe do it without changing the ports. Maybe do it without mounting the file system and stuff like that, just to see if it can work. And then if it does work, good. If it doesn't, hey, let's figure it out. But Killer for 2, this is going back to the earlier question about Rancher. I hope you figure it out. If not, toss it in Discord. These kind of things come up quite a bit. Xavier's D, as you know, I joined the Cool Kids. You've always been in the Cool Kids. Cable modem in bridge mode. All right, OpenSense fired up with the R210 is working away. Nice. Needless to say, I tried doing it solo and it didn't work. Lickety splitted, hopped on the call and had me fixed in 10 seconds. He said, you don't have DHCP enabled, ... Nice. Yeah, good call. Good sleuthing there. Good sleuthing. Because I would have said, run an IP config or an IF, or an IPA or whatever system you're on. You see a 169.254 and you're like, okay, no IP address. You must not begin DHCP. Turn it on. Nice. Why was DHCP off to begin with? Oh, probably because you were replacing your cable modem or it was doing DHCP for you. Maybe. Awesome, man. Congratulations. Lickety split it. Thanks for the help. Appreciate it. Hi, Lou. Thank you so much. Yep, absolutely, for sure. Finally managed to join. Thank you, Mega Shiny. Pizza Geek, hey guys. I'm here. I was vacuuming. Thank you. Hopefully you figure it out. I bet it's woodworking stuff though, for sure. That sucks. LOL. Vacuuming sucks. I totally agree. I bet it's woodworking stuff though. I bet it's woodworking stuff. So he was probably doing fun stuff and then he had to vacuum it up for sure. Flowdash, hey, speaking of Discord earlier, I got my internal traffic working fully with Authelia. Awesome. Speaking of Authelia too, now still working on my external, hitting some snags. I can hit the traffic dashboard, but I can't hit the other exposed services. Interesting. It's got to be labels. So, wait, are you doing internal traffic fully working with Authelia? I think you're doing Kubernetes. I think we were talking about Kubernetes last night. I can't remember. It was last night. That's tough. If it's Docker, it's got to be labels. If it's Kubernetes, it's got to be your ingress route configs and them not being configured properly. There's always a good there's two possible errors when you hit traffic and try to go to a service. There are probably more, but the two I most often see are 404, which means to me that your route isn't properly defined. That's a good clue. You see 404 from traffic, your route properly isn't defined, so traffic doesn't know where to send that. If you see a 502 bad gateway, that means the service behind it is down or misconfigured or not responding the way it should be responding. So, but yeah, if you see 502 bad gateway, that means you're almost there. It means either your ports are mixed up or you're missing some headers or something like that. But if it's 404, you know that, hey, it's your ingress route or it's your labels. You know that traffic doesn't know how to route that traffic at all. So traffic saying, hey, I can't find this, 404. 502 means you're on the right track, but the service behind it, there's either a misconfiguration or it's down altogether. Awesome. Let's see. Binder over. Sorry, my eyes. I need new glasses. I've been saying that for about 2 years. New prescription, I think. Hello, how's it going? Xavius, does the wifey want to come hang out in the podcast with us? She's not. She's out of town. We need to find out the details you don't want us to know, like embarrassing stuff. Yeah, she could probably tell you some embarrassing stuff. Not that much. I'm kind of an open book. I don't know. No, she will not be joining. Yeah, she had to go out of town to a funeral, and so it's just me and the pups, and lots of tech. But yeah, speaking of, I will definitely be joining Discord after this, so stay tuned. We need 3 more Discord members. We have 6789, so that would put us on 69. Math is hard. 6992. 6992. I like it. Bendy is fine. Let's see. Oh man, you guys are spamming it. Thank you so much. Let's see. Mega Shiny. MiniKube works well for testing. I totally agree. JZ works on my machine. I totally hear you. That's me every day. That's the other thing that's nice about DevOps or GitOps in general. Running CI somewhere else, it kind of helps you prove that it doesn't only work on your machine. So this comes up a lot of places I work. Someone will say it doesn't work on my machine, and I'll just say, well. And they'll say, does it work on yours? And I'll say, yeah, it works on mine. And they automatically think like, okay, something's wrong with your machine. I'll say, go look at the CI server. That's totally stateless. It has 0 state whatsoever. Did it build? Yes, it built. Okay, it's your machine. So it's always nice to have CI and CD in place because it becomes the tiebreaker and in situations like that. And the source of truth, I think. Oh, I missed this one. Think anyone in here could build something that will control the frequency of magnetic waves. I like where you're going with that. I'm sure someone in here can. There's lots of smart people, for sure. Magnetic waves, yes. What do you mean? Ooh, I like it. I like these questions. Wrong Twitch, homie. Electromagnetic would be precise. I like it. Everyone perked up. Everyone perked up. I love it. Seagore, hi Al. How's it going? Flowdash, just had a power outage. My UPS kept my other two lightweight servers online, but my R710 turned off right when it went into battery. That's not good. That means something is up probably with your UPS then. It didn't just have enough amps to switch it over. Pisces. Hi, finally. First time. I'm sorry I'm like slaughtering your name on the first time. Thank you so much for being here. Lickety splitted. Might be too much draw. Yeah, good call. Perhaps the outlet on the UPS is surge protection only. Yeah, another good call there. Coltrane, I love it when the power goes out. Now that I have a UPS, been looking at Tim's nut video. Have not started it yet myself. Hopefully soon. Yeah, I enjoy when the power goes off here too. You know, for minutes, not hours, but for minutes I do. But I have so many UPSs. There's beeps coming from everywhere. Beeps coming from here. There's like 4 beeps coming from downstairs. The garage is beeping and it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. The garage can run for a long time on that UPS just because it's only powering an access point and like 3 cameras, but it can run a while. And then if I need to open the garage door, I'll do that too. Saray, hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Red Robin is gone. All right, have a good one. All right, guys. I'm gonna look here real quick. JCX Life. I'm glad APC reversed the decision about not including data cables in their consumer UPS boxes. Although a better solution would be for them to use a standard port. Yeah, good call. Good call. Yeah, standards go a long way. Go a long way. Pizza Geek, locally trusted certificates from a private local CA using Acme from Cert Manager. Yeah, man, I was talking about this earlier. It sounds pretty awesome, and it sounds awesome. Sounds awesome for sure. Because then you can hand out self-signed ones that are trust by machines under your domain. Sounds awesome for sure. All right, guys, I'm gonna look for mentions only because I'm running a little bit over, but I started late, so I'm right on time. All right. Xavius, oh, hi, I forgot. I was going to ask about domain registration. I want to register .media or .its. Any ideas on who would be the cheapest? I mean, a lot of people use Namecheap. I use Google Domains. Cloudflare is also a registrar too. The newer registrars, I think, like Google Domains, not that they're newer, but, they don't have a wide breadth of domains that they support, like Namecheap or other ones that are out there. I don't know, not an endorsement or not a recommendation, but I use Google Domains. Cloudflare does it now too. They're a registrar as well, but some domains they don't support, which is kind of odd. I considered switching over to them, but like 2 of my domains that are, I think .us, I don't think they support .us or any of these vanity ones like .media or .it. They might not. But those are my 3 picks. It's going to be Google Domains, Cloudflare, or Namecheap, and I'm sure there are plenty of others that are out there. All right, guys, looking for mentions. Even though it's so hard to find mentions in this chat thing that I'm using. Peace, you said thank you. You are most welcome. I'm gonna look for mentions only because I don't want to keep you guys any longer than you need to be. I'm having a hard time seeing them. It's probably my glasses. I'm gonna call it. Hey guys, thank you so much. I do apologize if I missed your comment. I tried to read them all. There was so much activity today. I greatly appreciate it. If you have any other questions, if you have something specific for me or just a question in general, you should definitely 100% join our Discord server. As someone mentioned, we're almost up to 7,000 members. It's pretty awesome. It's a great place to just talk tech, talk anything, chit chat throughout the day, throughout the weekend, and get help from people who may have done or may have figured something out that you might be working on. A lot of the help comes from other people in the community for sure. A lot of times I feel like I have to jump in and help, but most of the time there's someone who's more knowledgeable who has already done it that is jumping in and helping people. But then there's also just fun things. We razz each other and all of that, or we complain about YAML or memes about YAML. So anyways, I would love it if you join. But if you need talk to me specifically, ping me somewhere, Twitter, Discord, it's all good. Speaking of Discord, yeah, I'm going to hop on voice right after this for a few minutes. I'm going to grab another water, but I'm going to hop in voice. So if you're new, yeah, hop in voice. Let's hop in voice and let's chat. The after party, it's starting to become Twitch after party in the Discord channel. So in the voice chat. So I'll be there in about 5 minutes. Man, thank you guys so much. This stream was fantastic. Like I said, I've had a pretty quiet and frustrating morning, working through some cluster stuff, and you guys just helped turn that around. I feel like super energized, so I appreciate it. There was tons of follows, tons of bits, tons of subs, tons of resubs. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. So I'm forever grateful. Thank you. And I never would imagine in 100 years, especially 2 years ago, that all of this would be happening. So I greatly appreciate it. Like I said, I'll be in Discord voice here in about 5 minutes. Otherwise, I will be back here next Saturday, and I will have something for you this week. I might even do it before Saturday, only because I'm pretty close to getting it done, and we'll see. Why wait? Why sit on something that I have? Unless you guys want it on Saturday and want me to sit on something that I have until Saturday, I can do that too. Either way. But thank you so much. Hey, have a great weekend. Like I said, if I missed your comment, I apologize. Just want to be respectful of your time. Have a great weekend. Have a happy rest of the Saturday, and be good to each other. Take care, folks.